Joining us now from Morris, Pennsylvania, Congressman Dan Meuser. Congressman, good morning. Thank you so much for waking up early with me. So the president's latest move to pressure the Democrats to end this shutdown is to cut some of their most beloved and, of course, extravagant programs in the state of New York. Will this finally pressure the Democrats to possibly end the shutdown?
Hi, Alex. Good morning. Great being on your show. Thanks for having me. Well, something eventually will. And I think that's simply going to be their constituencies. I mean, Chuck Schumer has got to be not only one of the most unlikable people in Washington, but I think nationwide and certainly throughout New York State right now. He thought he was doing this to fight for his political life, and now he's just flailing away and grabbing at anything to sustain himself. These moves are removing funding from rural hospitals. A lot of New York State is certainly rural. Telehealth has been minimized, stopped actually. TSA is not being paid, so our airports are less safe. So we've affected air travel, flood insurance, loans for small businesses have ceased from the SBA. SNAP will be ending. The nutritional program for low-income families will be ending in November, in spite of the work that the Trump administration, Russ Vought, who was just being talked about, who they said is Darth Vader, has found money through the tariff funding in order to pay SNAP through October. So this is the damage that they are doing, Alex. And meanwhile, what's he fighting for? To save Obamacare, which has caused all the premium increases? No, it needs correction. Chuck Schumer, 1.4 trillion in added spending. This is outrageous. It's madness. They're trying to make America mad again.
I mean, and you just named all of those vital programs that will lose all of their funding. And it just, people like you and the Republicans, they're really putting the American people first. You guys have more empathy. They're putting the illegals first. So I guess my question to you is, what is your message for the American people who are maybe watching right now and are wondering, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do any of this if they are federal workers and they're not receiving their paychecks, they're not receiving their SNAP benefits, wherever it may be? What is your message to those people?
We're going to fight for them. You see what the president is doing in ordering Russ Vought to find the money one way or another. And that's where some of those unnecessary programs that he's referring to will be minimized, if not terminated. So we're going to do everything we can to find the money. You know what, Alex? Today I'm going to Head Start. I'm going to a food bank in my district, of course. I'm going to meet with some veterans to see what services that they're having. I'm going to meet with small businesses who have federal contracts who are very concerned about this. That's what we're doing, and we're going to work towards getting a reasonable CR, clean, not with all of these outrageous demands like, health care for illegals. And what the American people can do is call their Democrat senators and members of Congress who can put pressure on the senators and say, open up the damn government, stop making America mad again. Let's actually try to make America great again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just listed a million things that you're personally doing. I would love to ask a Democrat what they're personally doing. But I really want to get to this topic I am very interested in. So you've been very vocal about the dangerous level of just completely violent discourse that's coming from the Democratic left. And it seems to be, encouraged at those No Kings rallies. I was appalled by the signs that I saw. A woman on camera who happened to be allegedly a kindergarten teacher said that she hoped she woke up the next morning to Donald Trump's obituary. We saw people who were imitating Charlie Kirk's assassination. The violent rhetoric from the left seems to be just not ending. I don't understand. Will we ever be able to find common ground between the two sides when it comes to ending this rhetoric?
Alex, you know what the real shame is? You have Democrats now leaking how they don't want to get the guillotine from their Democrat leadership. And sadly, I think perhaps they're being threatened. Many Democrat leaders, if you will, members of Congress and senators, whom won't call out and denounce these hateful and very hostile remarks being undertaken at these No Kings riots, because for the most part they are. Look, these things are funded It doesn't mean every person that's there is funded by the Communist Party of America, but there are banners showing the Communist Party of America is one of the key sponsors for these events, as is George Soros's Indivisible and all these other anarchist type of organizations. So what needs to be done is elected officials, those who we are a constitutional republic, okay, we're hired and voted in to represent people, need to denounce such hateful remarks. So people out there actually are being told what you're doing is wrong. Many of them think what they're doing is right. Calling ICE the Gestapo and calling the president a Nazi and calling me a Nazi, as protesters here in my district do. They need to be called out. We need civility. We need some decency. We need to just do what's appropriate and maybe alas professional, and stop this really, really hateful and dangerous rhetoric.
It's extraordinarily dangerous.
Yeah. The
Congressman
mentally unstable are listening, Democrat leaders. Call them out and denounce it.
Absolutely. Congressman Dan Meuser, thank you so much for your time this morning. Really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Alex. Thanks for having me.